In villages like this, there is often a precise threshold where the safety of a dirt road ends and the untamed wilderness begins. For generations, this peepal tree has stood at that exact boundary, marking the limit of where the locals feel safe. The locals tell of a woman who ended her life among these branches years ago. They believe her spirit remained tethered to the tree, unable to leave, and that she has spent decades waiting for someone to join her in the dark. The stories focus on physical abnormalities. Witnesses describe the heavy canopy thrashing in the dead of a windless night, and the thick, gnarled roots actually shifting, pushing their way through the dry, cracked earth as if they were alive. There is also a psychological component, a faint, desperate cry for help that seems to come from the trunk itself. It is a sound designed to exploit a passerby's instinct to help, drawing them closer to the shadow of the branches. To Rohit, these are not warnings. They are symptoms of a primitive imagination. He views the village's deep-seated terror as a lack of education rather than a reflection of reality. He intends to perform a simple test. Walk to the tree at midnight, document the silence, and use the lack of activity to dismantle the myth that has kept the village in fear for decades. By treating the legend as a mere intellectual challenge, Rohit is ignoring the primary function of the story. He is walking into the woods without the one thing that has kept the villagers safe, a healthy respect for the unknown. At 11:45 p.m., Rohit crosses the boundary into the anomaly zone. The night insect sounds are replaced by a heavy silence. His flashlight sweep over the massive roots reveals nothing but bark. Finding exactly what he expected, Rohit relaxes and stops looking for danger. Then, the environment shifts. Despite the perfectly still air, the massive canopy above him begins to thrash and shake, as if caught in a gale. A voice suddenly cuts through the violent noise, a desperate whispered plea from the high branches, asking for help. Rohit aims his flashlight upward, and the stark beam catches a woman in a white sari, swaying gently among the high branches. But as he looks closer, he sees the impossible. Her feet are hovering several feet above the highest branch, suspended by nothing at all. Arrogant certainty is no match for the impossible. When the world stops behaving according to the rules of science, the skeptic is left with nothing but a primitive, paralyzing dread. Rohit is frozen. Even as his mind tells him to run, a strange, heavy pressure seems to draw him closer to the base of the tree. The isolation becomes absolute. His flashlight flickers and dies, cutting his only remaining tie to the world he understands, and plunging him into total darkness. In the pitch-black void, he can hear the sound of slow, heavy breathing. He can feel a cold, unnatural presence standing just inches away. The light flickers back on, revealing that the woman is no longer in the tree. She is standing directly in front of him, her eyes solid black and her mouth pulled open in an impossible, wide grin. She whispers that he is hers now, that his arrival has finally provided the companion she has been waiting for. As he tries to recoil, massive roots burst from the earth, coiling around his legs like iron bands, dragging him down. In this village, the myths weren't kept to explain the world to the curious. They were kept to protect the cautious. For Rohit, the cost of testing that boundary was the discovery that some warnings are meant to be taken literally.